Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. My name is Nur Shazana binti Muhammad Zaidi, matric number A17A0493. In this presentation, we will cover the company background analysis of Kroger, external environmental analysis, internal environmental analysis, and the conclusion. Okay, first we will look at the industry overview. As we know, United States is the largest retailer industry in the world, followed by Europe. Okay, Kroger is at the second place for the retailer at the United States, behind the Walmart and followed by Costco. Okay, the major business for the Kroger is the supermarkets. Okay, supermarkets are known as the major business because 90% of the sales for the Kroger come from the supermarket. For the evidence from the Kroger page itself, the sales for the supermarket chains only almost $1 to $1.1 billion US. So we can say that major business for the Kroger is supermarket based on the sale that a supermarket chain get compared to other business. The other subsidiary business that Kroger involved is pharmacies, jewelry store, manufacturing, and fuel store, and so on. Next, we will look into the mission and vision statement of Kroger. The current vision statement of Kroger is to be the leader in the distribution and merchandising pharmacy, health and personal care item, seasonal merchandise, and related product and service. From this vision statement, we could see that Kroger has stated what they want to be in future, which is they want to be a leader. So this vision statement already elaborate what the company want to do in the future and what is their goal, which is to be the leader. And they also stated the products that the company involve, which is they want to distribution and merchandise of food, pharmacy, health and personal care. They already mentioned all of the product of the company. So from my opinion, the vision statement is already good. Okay, next we will analyze the mission statement of Kroger. The current mission statement for Kroger is to be here for our customer when they need us the most with open store and open heart hospitality. We are taking proactive steps to protect the health and safety of our associate, customer and communities, including adjusted store operating hours, enhancing cleaning procedure and physical distancing precautions, and expanded associate benefits. Okay, for the mission statement, we could see that Kroger only have 2 out of the 9 components that's supposed to have for the mission statement. These 2 components is philosophy and public image. The philosophy at the phrases open heart hospitality, and the public image at the to protect the health and safety of our associate, customer and communities. The other 7 component is customer, product and service, market, technology, survival or growth or profitability, self-concept and employees are not stated in the mission statement. So from the pie chart, we could see that only 22.22% is yes for the mission statement and no for the 77.77% is not stated. The characteristic of the current mission statement is not broad in scope, which is because they only have 2 components, and there are fewer than 150 words, and they are inspiring, of course, and it's not identified the utility of firm product, which is they didn't mention the product of the firm cover. It is the characteristic of the mission statement is reveals the firm socially responsible and environmental responsibility. It does not include the 9 components. It is reconciliatory and enduring. So we need to reform the new mission statement that had the characteristic and the component and the 9 component of the mission statement. Okay, the new mission statement that had been reformed is to be to serve the customer of all ages around United States when they need us the most with open store and open heart hospitality philosophy. Through our friendly and well-trained employees, we strive to maintain our reputation as customer choices with the extensive line of product and service from food, pharmacy, health, and personal care item, seasonal merchandise, and related product and services. By implementing online grocery store with frequently upgraded feature, we are able to profitably grow in business. We are taking proactive steps to protect the health and safety of our associate, customer, and communities. That is the reform of the mission statement that I create based on the 9 components of the mission statement and the characteristic they're supposed to have in the mission statement. For financial ratio analysis, we will look into the financial ratio of Kroger and compare them with the competitor, which is Walmart and Target. The liquidity ratio for Kroger from 2017 to 2020 were unstable. In 2017, we can see that the current ratio decreased from 0.8 to 0.78 in 2018, but quick ratio increased for 0.29 to 0.32. For 2019 and 2020, current ratio is static and had a little fall for quick ratio. For the last 4 years, Kroger had liquidity ratio that less than 1, which means that this is the risky for the position for supplier that hoping to get paid. This is because Kroger not able to satisfy its current liability. Now we will compare Kroger with their competitor, which is Walmart and Target. In terms of current ratio, it's clear that Kroger had 0.76 of current asset for each 1% of its liability. This value is a little low compared to Walmart and Target. We can see that Target had more current ratio than those two companies, which means that Target is more liquid and is apparently a better position to pay off its liability. The quick ratio that more than 1 can be interpreted that the company has enough quick asset to pay current liabilities. Both Kroger and Target had 0.27 current asset to cover everyone current liabilities. We can conclude that Kroger proceed in terms of liquidity ratio than Walmart, but behind Target at second place. Now we will look into the leverage ratio. Leverage ratio will tell the level of debt incurred by Kroger for the past 4 years. The leverage ratio is increasing every year for Kroger. The debt to total asset rise from 0.39 in 2017 to 0.47 in 2020, as well as the debt of equity ratio from 2.1 in 2017 to 2.46 in 2020. This means that Kroger asset were worth more than the debt that they own. Now we will look into we will compare Kroger with the competitor. We can see that of debt for Kroger against Walmart and Target in equity and asset are the highest with 2.46 and 0.47. Kroger weaknesses in debt is quite bad compared to Walmart and Target because of a big gap in equity and asset. The time interest earned also low, which is 6.457, which means that Kroger does not have enough liquidity to be comfortable serving its debt. Walmart is better in time interest earned because they had more time to pay interest that they own. Okay, the activity ratio determine the efficiency by analyze fixed asset, inventory, and account receivable. Inventory turnover for Kroger increased in 2018, which is 18.78, but fall again in 2019 to 17.7, and 2020 in 17.26. It means that the inventory that be sold are decreasing every year. All activity ratio in 2018 increased from previous year, but declining again in 2019 and 2020. The efficiency performance of Kroger are rising in 2018 but decline in 2019 2019 and 2020. Now we will look into the competitor for the further activity ratio. We compare Kroger with their competitor, we can see that Kroger are highest in terms of inventory turnover, fixed asset turnover, total asset turnover, and average collection period. Inventory turnover for Kroger is the best with 17.26 compared to Walmart 11.8 and Target 8.69. Kroger has sold out 17.26 times the inventory in the year, which is more than the other competitor. Kroger total asset turnover also the highest, 2.7, despite the efficient performance of Kroger. Account receivable turnover of Kroger is lower, which indicate that being paid by the customer on the time slightly than Walmart and Target. Okay, lastly, we will look into the profitability ratio. Profitability ratio will measure the organization ability to create earning. The gross profit margin are same every year, which means that every sales that made by Kroger, they keep 0.22 or 22% as their gross profit. The decreasing return on total asset reflect the decrease of sale, which is from 0.08 in 2019 to 0.04 in 2020. Operating profit margin is decreased in 2017 to 2020 from 0.03 to 0.02. Net profit margin to decrease. Return on total asset also decrease. Return on stockholder equity decrease, and earning per share decrease. Price earning per share is increasing. Now we will compare Kroger with their competitor. Kroger net profit margin is the lowest than Walmart and Target, which means that 0.4% of every sales dollar it takes in goes to profit and remain goes to expenses. Target is better in the overall profitability asset except price earning ratio. Kroger had the highest price earning ratio out of those two competitors. The highest price earning ratio show that investors are willing to pay higher share price today because of the growth of expectation in the future. So from this financial analysis, I can conclude that Kroger is better than Target in their financial, while Walmart at the first place in the financial ratio. So it's not weird where we see that Walmart at the first place of the retail industry while Kroger at second place. Okay, next we will look into the 5 forces driving industry competitiveness. Okay, for the 5 forces, we have threat of substitute products, rivalry among existing players, threat of new entrants, bargaining power of supplier, and bargaining power of buyers. Okay, for the threat of substitute product and rivalry among existing players, for the Kroger, Walmart, and Target, all of the 3 companies get 3 as their score, as it is they has the highest threat of the substitute product. Okay, the percentage for the industry analysis of threat of substitute product show 100%, which means that all 3 companies had the high threat for the substitute product. This means that Kroger customer can get substitute product easily within other store. Industry analysis for rivalry among existing players show 100%, which could means that there are a fierce competition among the existing players. The intense rivalry in the industry will limit the profit of the Kroger because competitors too will use their own strategies to attract customers to choose them. So in the retail industry, there are other competitors that had the same strategy, which is the lower price. So the customer will choose they will choose which company they would prefer to choose. And next is the threat of the new entrants for Kroger, Walmart, and Target. Score shows 1, which means there are a high threat from new entrants, and this is not good for the company. When the new entrant exists, Kroger need to compete with them and ensure that their customer not turn towards competitor. Scoring for bargaining power show that Kroger and Walmart is at the 3 while Target is 2. The scoring of 3 means that The supplier for Kroger and Walmart had low power against them. If the score is 1, it means that the supplier had the power towards Kroger to determine what price should they give. When the supplier had low scoring in reverse scoring, which is a 3, it means that supplier it still have power but not as much as 1 scoring. So Kroger could control the supplier, because if they did not want that supplier, they could choose the other supplier. The same goes as Walmart. The bargaining power of buyer for Kroger, Walmart and Target score are 1, which means that buyer had higher power to control the price, and is not a positive sign to the company. When bargaining power of buyer high, instead of buying from Kroger, customer can buy from other company such as Walmart, Target and Costco. When bargaining power of buyer is high, customer had the option to compare the price of Kroger with the competitor, and they will choose the best, since they were able to purchase because they had money value with them. So this situation is not good for the Kroger, because Kroger, as we know, offer the lower price. Same goes at Walmart. But if buyer decided to go to Walmart, Kroger need to think the other strategies to make the customer loyal to them. Okay, overall, both Kroger and Walmart show the full analysis of 73.33%, while Target show lower percentage, which is 66.67%. Okay, from these 5 forces, we can see that Kroger is trying hard to compete against their competitor. However, although Kroger are not at the first position of the industry, we can see that they are competing well in the industry. Okay, now we will see the internal environmental analysis of the Kroger. We will discuss the 3 resources of the company, which is private brand name, e-commerce and inventory management. For the based on the 3 company, all of these 3 company for their private brand name, we could see all of the 3 is the valuable, rare, immutable and organized. There are sustainable competitive advantage, and the economic implication for this 3 is above normal, which is could gain the profit for the company. Next is e-commerce, which is for the Kroger, the e-commerce is a valuable asset to the company. It is rare, it is inimitable, and it is not organized to exploit, because the e-commerce of Kroger, the new technology of e-commerce, is only being piloted to the 2 store only, and there are temporary advantage for the company, which is resulting in economic implication normal and financial implication. They could still gain profit from the e-commerce. For the Walmart e-commerce is valuable, rare, and it could be inimitable. This is because the system that I use is quite usual in the e-commerce industry, and it is organized to exploit, which resulting in temporary advantage that could gain profit for the Walmart, and the economic implication is normal. The e-commerce for the Target, it is valuable, it is rare, it could be inimitable, and it is not organized to exploit, which resulting in temporary advantage, and it economic implication is normal, and financial implication also could gain profit to the company. Next, we will look into inventory management. For the Kroger, all of the VRAO is yes, and they are in the sustainable competitive advantage, which resulting in the economic implication profit and financial implication, which resulting in economic implication above normal and financial implication they could gain profit. While the Walmart too had all of the inventory management is very valuable, rare, inimitable and organized, which resulting of sustainable competitive advantage, which is economy is above normal and financial implication is they could still gain profit. The inventory management for the target, it is valuable, but it is not rare unfortunately, and it could be imitated, and it is organized to exploit, which resulting in the competitive parity and the economy will be normal and they will be at the break-even point. This is because the inventory management of the target is not as good as the Walmart and Kroger. Based on the study that we're running in the US, the Walmart, Kroger and Costco listed as the top 3 retailers that managing their supply chain and inventory management goodly. The Walmart rank first, while Kroger ranked second, followed by Costco, and Target is at the 5th place. Okay, from this report, I get to conclude that Walmart had the better resources in their company, and followed by the Kroger at the 2nd place, while Target at the 3rd place. For conclusion, I come up with the final decision that Walmart at the 1st place, Kroger at 2nd place, and Target at the 3rd place. For the 1st place Walmart, this is because they had the nationwide network, the lowest product price in market. Walmart could sustain their competitive advantage with these two main points. The nationwide network, which means that they had the biggest network in the US, and their product is the lowest price among these 3 companies. Kroger at 2nd place, which is they produce a good quality product. This can be seen from the report in Scrap Hero that when the 84% of Walmart shopper prefer buying from the private name label of Walmart, and 83% prefer to use Kroger private label brand. Kroger also have a good reputation. This is because their lowest price product, and they also mostly preferred by people at the United States. Kroger at the 2nd place when they produce a good quality product. This can be seen from the sale of their private label brand. This we can see that when the more than 30% of unit sale were attributed to private branded product. At the time, Kroger said that its Simple Truth line generate 2.3 billion annually from 1,500 products, make it the largest natural and organic brand in the United States. So we can see that Kroger is produce good product that suit the taste of the customer, while Target, for my opinion, at the 3rd place because they had the low customer loyalty. We can see this from their price for their own product, when their product is a bit pricey compared to Walmart and Target. So customer will compare the price at the Target and the other stores. That's why I said with the low customer loyalty, because customer can go to other competitor because of the cheaper price. Target also serve a good quality product. I feel that the existing plan of Kroger is good enough to sustain their competitive advantage. We can see this from the strategies that been implemented by Kroger that winning the war in the retail industry. A few strategies that been used by Kroger is, first is price cut, And second, the optimum use of data that they collect from the customer. And third is innovation of the technology that they make in their store. From these strategies, I think Kroger could maintain their competitive advantage. That's all from me. Thank you.